MAGFest 2025. It happened. Were you there? I was. Let's talk about it. Okay. Hello, Internet. Pretend there was a cool, fancy splash screen intro.
All those chickens.
If there was, I hope you enjoyed it. Scotty Mo here. MAGFest 2025 happens. It was the first MAGFest. I've been going to them for about 10 years. First time I went, Friday night, me and a buddy got off work at GameStop back in the retail days. Excuse me. And drove down there Friday night. It's 24 hours. We got there at like probably close to midnight. Toured the place with my, at the time, roommate who had a booth and a room in the hotel. It's at Gaylord National something. Should have looked that up. It's down in Maryland, basically. National Harbor is where it is hosted. But we went down there, had no idea what to do. Drove down real quick. Just two dudes in a car. 4 hours later, we're at MAGFest. We saw some awesome bands. We got some awesome merch. We just had an awesome time. I've been going since then. That was 2015. It was, I think back then, Friday through Sunday. It is now grown to 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. Technically, you could pick up your badges Wednesday night. But I went for the first time ever, all 4 days. It was Sonic Mania themed, as you can see from the shirt. I did the shirt package bundle deal, got the shirt. Got a lanyard that I haven't opened, but there it is. And then you get a little one of these badges too. And by badge, I mean a pin. Let's let it focus, baby. So, MAGFest stands for Music and Games Festival, and it is very much that. I figured I'm going to talk about just my experience going 4 days because I want to throw something positive on the internet because the world needs it right now. Bah! And I just want to talk to everybody about what I did, the things I saw, and share some of the art I got. Didn't buy a single retro game. Can you believe it? But I'm gonna have the artist names either on the bottom of the screen or just listed in the description. We'll get to all that, but first I want to tell you about my experience, show you all the stuff I got at the end. The first time I went, like I said, it was kind of nonstop with a buddy, and it was great. This time, and I have in between there paid for a hotel room there. That's expensive. It's worth the convenience, but man, it's costly. This year, I drove down and I crashed at a friend's house, and that friend had a Polymega, so he knows the deal with the Polymega. I brought my Polymega, was dumping games every night, so got about 170 games on there. Stay tuned for some streams. We can have some fun with the new games I got in my collection now. But that meant he lives about anywhere from like 45 minute drive to the convention. So that was pretty cool to be able to just hop in a car, not pay for a hotel, and have more money in my pocket. Thursday, and also another friend was coming all the way from California who I indirectly talked him into going. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry and you're welcome. But I think the resounding response was he had a great time and he wants to go back. So I told him I will more than happily be your liaison. And he was going to also hang out with some other newbies that he met through the MAGFest Discord. MAGFest overall, is 24 hours. So that's, at first I thought that's daunting and insane. But really, because of that, it's more chill overall, because you might have a panel at like 3 a.m. You want to go see some bands, but since it's just stretched out throughout 4 days, 24 hours, you realize, oh, I can take my time. The arcade's open. I can go check that out. The arcade's the size of a football field. They've got the main floor. I thought about doing a tour video, but really I just decided instead to live. I might throw the... reference a tour video, a floor tour that someone did. They only covered about a third of the convention though. But there's the main floor where you go in, the merch hall, the dealer's room, which is, they don't have an artist alley and a dealer's room. They just have the merchandise hallway, whatever they call it. Marketplace. What are words? But that is in there, and there are so many booths that I think this is the second year that I've known MAGFest to sell out. I think it's time for them to expand the marketplace, because it does get a little overwhelming if you're in there when it's crowded. I genuinely tell people the best time to shop is like 9:30 to midnight, because no one's in there. I don't think they do an early bird like VIP thing or anything like that to get in before the crowds, but that's really the best time to go, 9:30 at night to midnight, because it's chill, it's calmer. Maybe not all the booths are open, but you can make notes of like, oh, I want to check that out, let me take a picture of their business card, QR, see what their art is. But some places are still open well into the night, because there's no, like, you don't have to, I forget what the actual hours are, because I haven't had a booth there. Megavision's almost had a booth there once, but it was chaotic to try to get that at the time. But the floor itself, there's just so much, well, you'll see how much good artists there are that they get in there. It was really cool to see some repeats too. But nothing opened until 2 p.m. Thursday afternoon. I got down there Wednesday to my buddies, and we realized we didn't have anything super early on our schedules. I'm going to kind of go through what I had on my schedule too as a bearing of how to discuss this whole thing. But I didn't want to have a list of how to do this video. It's a little bit off the cuff. Aside from the art at the end, I had to organize to properly credit people. So the big things about this though, Sonic Mania themed, they got TJ Davis, who's the vocalist for the Sonic R soundtrack, and also Metropolis Street Racer, some tracks on there. She's a really good. She's done a lot of the music biz. Look her up if you only know her from Sonic R, but TJ Davis, vocalist on that soundtrack, so she was doing autographs. I was under the impression she was going to perform. That was a mess. Something was a mess. It was the Sonic R karaoke percentage speed run that I'll quickly go through that. It was supposed to start at 6:30. I'll quickly go through the small negative portion. I left feedback. They always do feedback every year. They ask for feedback from attendees, but this thing was supposed to start at 6:30 on Friday. We had to leave the convention no later than 8 p.m. The short version of this story, the actual speedrun panel thing we were lined up for over an hour, a couple buddies and I. One buddy left because it was just too much. The line was crazy. I completely understand if he was overwhelmed, but 7:30, I'm saying to my buddy who's still in line, has a hotel room, but we had to leave. I wasn't going to stay with him at his hotel room because my OCD and stuff, I just wouldn't have been able to wake up with none of my stuff to go through my routine the next day. It wouldn't have been worth the stress, the personal stress. But 7:30, the line is like sort of moving, where it's feeling a little more organized, and then 7:45 they actually get us into the room for this. It's going to be a speed run of Sonic R with TJ Davis singing the songs, and we get in there, and the host comes out to kind of hype us up, and then says OBS is not dealing with the songs real well, the recordings, so we're going to reboot that and start the stream of Sonic R speedrun karaoke percentage with TJ Davis, the singer of the songs in the game. When they said OBS was needed a reboot, I said, my buddy, I'm out of here, because OBS is a fickle mistress. Having streamed for as long as I have, it's a 50-50 shot. Just rebooting OBS will fix it. Usually it does, but if that was the issue, maybe just get OBS out of the equation. Just play the game and let the people there enjoy it and record it and upload it later. That was my feedback. That was the most stressful part. Let's throw that aside and focus on the positive. Thursday, 2 o'clock, floor opens. There's Marketplace, indie devs, like games and all kinds of stuff that indie developers are working on. Arcade, and then console floor room. I don't know what to call it. The console arcade. I don't know what to call it. The console area, which is where a lot of tournaments are and stuff. If tournaments isn't held, if it's not held in the arcade. 2 p.m. when the marketplace opens. Don't go at that time. It was way too busy. Oh my gosh, it was overwhelming. Excuse me. But still kind of got our bearings of where cool booths were and everything. And first thing I wanted to do was hop over and check out a game called Unbeatable that I guess blew up after their Kickstarter or during the Kickstarter. A really cool rhythm game, and I knew that they were going to be there, and they were going to be giving out a con exclusive CD of the like soundtrack, but not the soundtrack. It's not exactly from the game. I'll throw a link below of the Unbeatable trailer. That the art style and the music immediately drew me in, and I told people this is like a band that would go on a co-headlining tour with Sex Bomb from Scott Pilgrim or something, you know. So needless to say, got there immediately after kind of going through the marketplace, hopped over to the indie spot, played the game, and found out the merch was not on sale yet. They were doing like exclusive shirts and other stuff for the convention overall. I'm like, I need whatever music you guys are giving out. And so they said, come back about an hour, half an hour, we'll have merch up and running. I assumed the card reader wasn't working because the internet was shot at the beginning and most of the convention since it was just so crowded. But I did go back and get the CD. I'll show it off a little bit later. That game's really cool. Unbeatable. Very cool indie game coming up. After that, kind of just walked around, meandered, hung out with people. And then, for some reason, Thursday night, Cybertronic Spree was playing their set, which is at first they were just a cover band. They would do covers of the Transformers 1986 movie soundtrack, and they dress up as the Transformers. There's Hot Rod, RC, Unicron plays lead guitar, which is awesome, and Hot Rod plays bass. RC is the singer, and she does keys. She's the star of the show, clearly the most talented singer on the stage. And then the Quintessons are another guitarist, and their drummer rotates. It's been Bumblebee, or it's been the guy whose arms turn into little wrecking things that pound the ground. He's one of the cassette tapes that pops out of Soundwave's chest, and I can't remember his name. But also Soundwave is their hype robot that gets the crowd going. You know what? Let's hop over to this right now. I am going to show you what part of their show was like, and let's do this flawless transition. There it is. All right, so who's that guy? That's right. That's Optimus Prime. Right there. Dead Optimus. So after the scene from the movie they played the scene in the 1986 movie where Prime dies, and then they bring this out. I'm like, what's going on? And I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but I say, actually you won't be able to hear me because I want to, whoop. Come on, you can do this. Computers aren't that hard. I just yell, we're going to disrespect the hell out of this corpse because Optimus Prime's corpse crowd surfed. So we're going to mute that because I don't know how loud it's going to be, and just let you guys enjoy a moment in Cybertronic Spree's set. But you can see RC singing there, and I was trying to film and talk to a buddy, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, here comes Prime. Here comes Prime. What a time. I wish that my buddy Chirito was there for this. He didn't get the MAGFest till the next day. There goes Prime's corpse. All hail Optimus. He was good to us, and he came back like twice if you follow the series and stuff, so that was amazing. Switch back over, boom, flawless. Man, that was fun. That was just Thursday night. So I think shortly after that, we just went back home and called it a night for Thursday. Friday, rolling in. There were tournaments going on. The big thing, though, was autograph session with TJ Davis. One buddy got in line with me. It was only one thing to get signed per person. Short version, had a buddy stand in line. He got something signed for me as well. So he's a good dude. He knows what he's doing. He knew his role, and he was great at it. So met TJ Davis very briefly. Oh, and Tee Lopes was there, who does amazing soundtracks for all kinds of stuff. As we were in line, we saw that Tee Lopes had a guy sitting next to him, and I was talking to Tee Lopes and saying, hey, if you remember me from Megavisions magazine, we interviewed you at PAX East, and if you don't remember me, it's fine, because you said you had a long day. He interrupted. He's like, oh, yeah, because I was hung over. I was like, yes, but it was still fun playing the Ninja Turtles game with you that you did the soundtrack to. And didn't have anything to get signed from him, but the guy sitting next to him, he was like, yeah, and this is so-and-so. he did Panic in the Sky, which is the best song on that album. It's so cheesy, it's great.
Surf's up in the city. I'm fired up and I'm feeling gritty. Fists rumble in the air like thunder. This battle ride's gonna take you under. Like a shooting star blazing through the skies. And the fire burning in my eyes. Catching up to you, I'm bringing on the fire. Gonna blow you up like dynamite. Hey, blow you up like dynamite.
So I told him, like, oh my god, that's the best song on the album. So cool to meet you, etc., etc. And then we moved down to TJ Davis, and I didn't know what to say. Kind of froze up. I didn't know. I don't know. Anyway, she thought it was cool, and this really impressed some people in line. This insane standee that I've had for years, and she signed the top of it. It says "Love TJ Davis." So that's gonna go right back up over there on the shelf and never leave again. But I'm so happy that I got this sign. It's just a cool little standee from Babbage's that I've had forever, and she signed my manual. So pretty freaking awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see her perform at all. It was really confusing. She was in the guidebook as a guest instead of a performer, so I had a hard time figuring out when she was actually going to be singing. But I found out after the fact at their closing ceremonies, MAGFest realized they did kind of do her dirty with how she was on the schedule and it wasn't clear, and etc., etc. She had a great time though, like checking her social medias after the fact. I think she is ready to go back or come back to MAGFest for sure. So just so cool to get her to sign that. She asked us, she's like, what's your favorite song? And it's like, everybody says Sonic Racing and Can You Feel the Sunshine, but I really like Back in Time because it's kind of a comfy song, and she agreed, and we were talking about that a little bit. So, but that was really cool. Seeing her for a second, very polite, just very welcoming. And then we had to frickin' book it because autographs are 1:30. Saturn Bomberman tournament, 2 o'clock. You know I had to be there for that. Listen to the Fire, Streets of Fire soundtrack, get ourselves pumped up. And I lost my little thing that's kind of like a medal. Got too much crap next to me. Oh, here it is. So they did the way it was. It wasn't immediate elimination. It wasn't best of 3 or anything like that. The way that they did the tournament was a little different from what I've experienced in other Saturn Bomberman tournaments. You had 3 rounds. So it was 7, 7, 7, 22 people signed up. One buddy of mine signed up. Another one, unfortunately, didn't get to in time. So 2 of us were going to at least be in there. Oh, another buddy, there's so many buddies, actually signed us in while we were waiting in line for autographs, because you had to do your... you had to get your barcode signed in, and you had to also type in your badge number. Very different, but it makes sense. That way you don't just have schmoes running in or people taking up spots that aren't actually there or whatever. So we got signed in for it, and what was it, 3 rounds, and whoever had the most bomb points at the end, which was very different rather than just whoever died first is out. Next person dies, they're out, you know, etc., etc. Long and the short of it, I tied for first, and there was another dude in third. We all got these little things that are, it's mustard, but it's 5 M points that you use in the marketplace. Oh, is that going to show up? It was doing a good job of focusing for a second. But the, anyway, there weren't medals or anything. And like, I wasn't expecting like a big ceremony or something, but I've been to smaller conventions that have had medals if you win. So I was expecting that. Since we didn't get it, I'm just going to hold on to this. I didn't use it because I felt like also maybe that would take away from the merchants, unless they... it was hard to hear everything the TO was saying. She might have said that they get credited for it or like redeem them later. But it would have been cool to get a medal, because otherwise it's just kind of like hanging out at anyone else's house playing Bomberman with everybody. But no, tied for first, Saturn Bomberman. That was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it was so chaotic, I didn't really get to BS with everybody who was playing the tournament and stuff. There was like a group of 4 dudes that were clearly buddies all playing. It was still very positive, very well organized, much more in the past couple of years. And the TO was giving out these awesome ribbons that they made that are just has the adorable dino and the Bomberman people. And when I put it on mine, I realized now it says BO Man. That's me. But that was really cool and fun little art. Ribbons are things that you put on your badge. I've only really seen them more at Techo, and like I've heard they're bigger at other anime conventions, but they exploded at this one with the different Sonic themes. So yeah, really cool stuff. And Bomberman happens. We stuck around a little bit, but then I think, let's see, that was 2 o'clock. We kind of just hung out and did whatever, and then eventually that Sonic R karaoke thing happened, which was a mess. We went over that already. And didn't stick around for any bands. Missed the Killer Queen tournaments. It would have been cool to do those. But going into Saturday here, there was an Ian Flynn and Kyle Kraus. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. He does a podcast with Ian. I'm not sure how else he's affiliated with him. So Ian Flynn, I didn't bring anything for him either. It's insane. MAGFest is always nonstop. But he had artwork. A buddy and I were standing in line to get stuff signed for other people because we didn't have anything, but we were able to get into the autograph line, so we wanted to help friends out. And they had just random artwork that I assume it was his wife? I'm not sure. Next to Ian, they would pull out a print, and then that would be what they signed. So I have Dr. Starline here looking terrified, and Ian Flynn signed it down there, and Kyle signed it there. And it was cool BSing with Ian for a second. I told him, thank you, and I don't know how you pulled it off, but the Metal Saga is my favorite arc in Sonic comics, and he's like, I don't know how I pulled it off either. So that was fun. BSing with him. I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but holding this other artwork reminded me. Either the second day? No, it was Thursday. Walking around the marketplace, and my buddy and I see a booth that's just Sonic comics, and I'm like, that's cool. What is this though? Because it's like, I know Ian's here. It's not Ian's booth because it's just artwork, and I don't think he had his thing set up behind him, but one dude was talking to the person at the booth, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm Adam Bryce Thomas, and did not miss a beat, completely interrupted their interaction. I said, holy shit, you are my favorite Sonic IDW artist. Did not know you were going to be here. I love your stuff. And I think that's as much as I fanboyed out. My other buddy can contest that it wasn't. I've fanboyed for like different members of bands and stuff. I've not really met many artists, but really he is, no joke, my favorite artist with IDW right now. You know, we were BSing, and he asked what I liked about his art, and I mentioned that I just love how he's able to capture the sense of speed in like individual frames and make it look cool still. So I had him. This was the cover of the issue that introduced me to him. And I don't remember the number because I read them in volumes, but this is art from it, and just so cool. And you can see his little autograph down there. It was fun to BS with them, and apparently he was there as Matt Herms +1. Matt Herms does art and coloring for IDW. He did stuff for Archie as well, Sonic Archie, and I guess he got sick, so he didn't show, unfortunately, but Adam still did. But that's why Adam wasn't on the schedule anywhere. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I would have seen that and brought something. And I was like, and he said, come back Saturday, I'll have an exclusive print. So of course I did, and got that one too. It's kind of Sonic Adventure 2 themed. I like Sonic Adventure 1 more. Fight me. But still really awesome. I had to get another one. I'm gonna happily get these framed, and told another buddy who's a Sonic comic fan, and he got some art too. But that's like up there as one of my favorite convention experiences. Did not know he was going to be there. Realized like mid-interaction who this was, and didn't fanboy as hard or badly as I could have, and I have in the past on other creators and stuff. That was just so cool to meet him. He's just hanging out at a convention, and I asked him how it was going on Saturday. He's like, honestly, dude, I have done better here than I ever have at a New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con. It's like, that's not surprising with the Sonic theme going on. So that's awesome, though, to hear that he did so well there. So it was cool meeting him. We did not do the Windjammers tournament. Windjammers used to be synonymous with MAGFest, in my opinion, but they had one cabinet set up, after Corey and I signed up, 48 entrants for the tournament. On one cabinet, no thanks. They were probably there for 4 hours, so we backed out. I left feedback though, like, get more Windjammers cabs, guys. What the heck? I know Frankie's not there anymore, but sheesh. That night was Bit Brigade. Bit Brigade is a band that does metal covers of game soundtracks as one player speed runs them on stage. Very cool. They had F-Zero and Super Mario World for this round, for this set. So a couple buddies and I checked them out for a while, so that was a lot of fun. And then Sunday was a lot more low-key. Was that the next day? Yeah, I guess so. Oh no, we did have dinner Saturday night, a bunch of us. That was a lot of fun, despite the service being kind of ho-hum. It was just, we learned it's one of the busiest weekends of the year for this restaurant, and they threw a newbie at our table, probably as, trial by fire or whatever. But other than that, it was cool to just sit down, slow down, talk to people. Hung out with my old college roommate finally, and we just BS, told stories, and had a good time. After that was when we went and saw Bit Brigade though. But Sunday, only thing I did was a Resident Evil photo shoot. I didn't do it, I went to it and took pictures, and also the Sonic photo shoot, which I'll show pictures of that in a second here. But man, oh man, it was a good time overall. Let's go over to the slideshow though. I realize I'm talking for a long time, but it's fun. It's MAGFest. Here we go. Boom, flawless. Here we go. That's when you walk in. Just okay, let's make sure this works. Yep. And I'm down here still. Hello. That's just when you walk in. That's a new thing though. Try to get a photo of all of us, and I'll show that in a second. They have rest in peace, David Lynch. They have what are these called? Oh my gosh. Not a memorial. Shrine to people. So the big one is Danny DeVito for some reason. I don't know where that originated, but it has with MAGFest. It's always been there. But they have one for David Lynch. This is just random crap. Cool Spider-Punk cosplay that did the thing that made it look like it's drawn in the Spider-Verse sort of deal on his guitar. There's the Danny DeVito shrine. That was day one, so we'll see some progression over time. But yeah, like it says there. Lord DeVito welcomes you to MAGFest 2025. Offerings will be gathered and donated off to charity on Sunday. So that's pretty cool. I did ask someone before seeing this sign what happens to all that stuff. We'll see how it grows over time. This is an insane game that's a co-op thing where you put a hat on your head and direct a man to get to his job, which is actually an alien trying to take over the world. And that's how you do it. You get your coffee, get your briefcase, go to the office. Step 5, world domination. So it was a really cool, weird thing that was a lot of fun to play. Unbeatable was the game I mentioned. Got the... Oh, let's hop over to the other side before we go into art entirely, or all the other stuff. Got the soundtrack that one of the devs online even said, did anyone try playing that backwards yet? And I was like, whoa, bring back ghost tracks. I got so sad and felt so old when someone was like, play it backwards, and they pasted the emoji for the rewind button. They're like, oh, and I'm like, simpler times. They had a cool sticker sheet as well, and then the exclusive con shirt for this year was this cool design. So check out Unbeatable. That's gonna be good. And let's go back to the slides here. Oh, I have to click on this. There we go. Yep. Oh.
All right, future Scotty here, talking over myself as I watch myself watch myself. And I realized in retrospect, not using earbuds meant that I didn't know when these videos were crazy loud, so I've just muted it and wanted to show everybody the hotel itself, or at least the courtyard area, and there's Corey and me being goofballs, but that down there is where you take the photo shoots, or they had the photo shoots happen. Really nice place, and just basically a village within itself, and then on the other side was kind of where an orchestra or something was playing at the time. Just very cool.
Nice hotel. Mouthwashing. Anybody played it? I happened to look down and I saw some mouthwashing cosplayers that just happened to be eating, so it looked like the birthday party scene. Yeah, everyone, if you like really sad and depressing and very real games, play mouthwashing. It's like a 2.5-hour game. That's our view from Thursday night dinner. Rough meal, good times though. Is this a video? I think so. There we go. That's just from when we were waiting for the elevator. Some screen that I never noticed before. I don't know why. Oh, just an example of like what happens at the entrance here. There's just a horn band playing. They all figure this out. Then should they go? The bullet train simulating, or just a train, Japanese train simulation game. Maybe that'll make it into the marathon one year. They had some Daytona. This is in the arcade now. Pretty cool setup. And a bunch of crazy taxis. The most crazy taxis I've ever seen consecutive in one place. 1, 2, 3 crazy taxis making crazy money. That's like, yeah, just the racing and Sega area almost. There's the other crazy taxi. There was one more that I didn't film, but time to get awesome or something. Right? This guy was nuts. After he played his round, I'll just shut up for a second and I'll actually... I don't know if I let the music play, if it'll screw things up, but one of my friends and I were watching him for a while, and I was like, I gotta film this dude. And then that happens. He's ridiculous. And it's kind of got a guitar lanes coming at you, Guitar Hero lanes coming at you. After he finished that round, we applauded him and like fist bumped and asked him questions about that game because we did not understand it. And then next to him, these dudes were running a freaking train on the game. We didn't even realize until after the fact. So you'll see he's done. His other buddy's going to hop in. Wham, bam, boom. Do some stuff. Jump around. Look at the colors. Match them up. Here we go. Meanwhile, the other guy is still doing his solo round. And yeah, I forget what this game is called. If I had filmed it better, you'd be able to see the logo. But it was really cool. Not too often do you see 3 Sonic Fighters in a row, right? Pretty neat. And then on the other side of this one, it was one of those cabs that has... second player on the other side, like you're actually fighting them. Whoops, wrong way. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Never seen that before, so snap the shot. Oh, there's Prime. Day 2, Danny DeVito Shrine. You can see it's grown a little bit. We got that wonderful pillow case and Emotep's there for some reason. Yep. Oh, that's a horrible picture. Can we get a better one? Let me see here. This is the better one. Of the winners of the Saturn Bomberman tournament with the TO. I don't remember anyone's name. I'm sorry. Sound off in the comments if you happen to see this. Maybe we can play some Bomberman online or something. No, all cool dudes though. Like no one was really bummed if they lost or whatever. There were some tight plays in there too. A lot of sniping going on with kicking the bombs and stuff. So it was really cool. But yeah, just a lot of fun with that tournament. Very well organized as well. That was outside. Why not? You know, somebody's got to do it. So, Gundam cosplay. I don't know what from or which one or what this character's called, but it was just awesome. That's day 3. We got some Tetris blocks now. And, oh, somebody censored it. Good. And Emotep's still there. Big old duck. And we did make a donation. Oh, God. Someone threw their Jersey Mikes in there. I just noticed that now. There was legitimately 3 $100 bills in there at one point. I don't know if those were real, but, you know, we respected it and didn't touch it. There's my finger on the left. That's pretty cool. This is a video. And I think it was just... There he is. He's not related. This is not related to the shrine, but I just saw that, so I'm like, I'm going to film how ridiculous it is to just walk down the hallway in MAGFest. And there he is. I signed the mouth-washing cosplayers. I showed them a piece of art that I found that I'll show in a second. Animal Crossing cross mouth-washing characters. They lost their minds. They're like, where is it? I'm like, you got to go around this aisle. Trying to tell them. It was really funny and really cool to see the reactions to mouth-washing fan art that I found. But yeah, really well done costumes. That's all of us. The person with the bunny ears is not in our crew. They just bombed it. So awesome that they did. We tried to get... There was not an opportune time where no one was standing in front of this thing. So, but you know, Chris, Corey, Nick, me, Torito, Alyssa, TJ, and someone else. But that was everybody that I was able to hang out with at MAGFest, and that made it awesome. Resident Evil cosplayers. Tofu. For the frickin' win. Is that not great? I forget her name from RE7 and 8, but that's the mom. This is like one of the final group photos when they were just trying to get it all together. Or is it a video? No. But I took so many photos, I thought I'd at least show one group, one of most of the cosplayers for it. A lot of Weskers, or a couple Weskers, mostly Leons, and a couple Ashleys, a couple Adas. The Sonic photo shoot. Holy moly. But yeah, insane, right? I did do a video of that one because it was just so giant. Here we go. Without the sounds because it's just background noise and that obnoxious stuff. But someone dressed up as the burger statue. Someone dressed up as the burger statue. She was the best, my favorite cosplayer there of the Sonic stuff because it's one of those, etc., etc. If you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. Tangle cosplayer, Jet the Hawk, which their like facial expressions during photos were great. Yeah, it was impossible to get an adequate photo of this group with the space that I was in, so just tried to film them. And maybe I'll post pictures later or something. You can find them on like the MAGFest Reddit, but so many talented cosplayers. The Knuckles there with a giant emerald. They lifted Rouge up on their shoulders at one point for their photo. All right, let's phase back in. Woo, magic. Let's show off the art, shall we? Show off the haul, right? Okay. I know this video has been going on forever, but hey, that's what you're here for, right? So the mouthwashing fan art I mentioned. This is ridiculous, done by Kai Taxel. I'll link them below. They also did, I had another charm by them previously, but I still bought this one. That's really cool and really well done. It's got a front and a back. But this I saw first, and then I looked up on their booth and I saw the bigger mouthwashing fan art and was like, holy crap, you're the first mouthwashing fan artist I've seen. Congratulations, but I'm buying that. Almost didn't, and I'm glad I did because when I went back it was gone. So very cool. Play that game if you like sad stuff, everybody. Okay, and then as the theme was Sonic, there was a lot of Sonic. Got a cool little Knight's Chow keychain dangler thing from Jennifrid. Again, gonna throw the names below so you'll see my magic editing, and it'll be linked in the description. Throughout the whole thing was a stamp rally that was going on, which was really cool. I hope more conventions do this. They had a couple different booths were participating. You get a stamp after you buy something from the booth and then get a big prize at the end. So that was really, really neat. The people hosting this were awesome too and very patient with my inebriated friend. But they had a lot of places were trying to do gachapon, like you buy a chance to spin or in a machine. And I was like, what if I just give you a little bit more money and have specifically the one that I want? You know, because I really just wanted a certain one and didn't care for like the other random ones. So they were nice enough to do that. And they also, at the end of it, you got, when you completed the stamp rally, you got this one here, this ribbon that's Maniac About Mania, which is really neat. And I got a bunch of other stickers from their overall thing. Just show off all of them from the stamp rally. Fun little tails in a biplane. Sparkly Sonic on the toilet. Gotta go fast, as you do. Cool Ray the Squirrel sticker. This was all from completing the stamp rally. Another sparkly one. Amy. And these were a mixture of the artists involved, so otherwise I would, I'm going to link them as I show you what I got through the stamp rally. Oh, forgot about this one from the grand prize as well. A lot of cool stickers. Stickers are in, guys. So, continuing the stamp rally, actually, there is no order to this at all. Who cares? I'm going to show you this pin next. Look at this giant pin of a piece of toast that comes out of a toaster. It's Parappa the Rapper. It's amazing. Official Space Age printing toaster. Have a nice piece of crunchy hot toast. Yes. So that was by Moga Factory. So cool. They had they had an Jammer Lammy print that I probably should have bought. It was huge and cool. I'm saying cool a lot. Oh, jeez. Okay. Language, everybody. But this sticker sheet is great. You can see the artist on the side there, but I'll just let you guys pause the video to read those. But it was hilarious, made me laugh, and actually what drew me to that one was the sticker above it. Whoa, he's bisexual. I didn't know that. Pretty great. Pretty great. I'm a big fan of fuck you, I'm gay stuff. So I had to get that. This was another sticker by that same artist. Just Tails with a gun. And going down the list here. Oh, we got these 3 buttons from Yango's art. It's the boys. Whoops. Let's hold you there. And let's hold you up here. It's the boys. Part of the stamp rally still. Parappa's the only thing that's not part of the stamp rally that I've shown you guys so far. Oh, I got a Knuckles bracelet, friendship bracelet. Those are fun. I like collecting these. Maybe because I like Taylor Swift. Who knows? Who cares? But that was part of the stamp rally, so I grabbed it. And then, oh, this one was great. Because we were just looking around. They had a bunch of plushy stuff, like a plushy Dreamcast. Like the whole console. Not as big as this bad boy, but still really, really cool. And a controller, I think? I can't remember. But then my friend pointed out, do you see these VMUs? And each of them, like, it's a charm. Oops. It's a little doodad there. But each of them had a different thing on it. So I found the one with the chow on it and grabbed it and complimented her on all the Dreamcast stuff. And then she was like, oh, I like your tattoo. Have a ribbon. I was like, oh, okay. And they gave me the Born in the 90s one, which I may as well have been. It feels like it anymore, right? So that was a cool one, especially because it's like the Sonic. I just realized that it's the Sonic CD art style, but they also did Knuckles, so that's cool. And so the last one there, talking about the ribbons, I miss my wife Tails. I miss her a lot. I guess that's from YouTube poop. I don't know. But maybe I'm a ribbon guy now. I don't know. But it was cool having all those on there. And let's see. Oh, the last piece of art. Oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry. Not the last piece of art. I lost track of who made this one. But it's amazing and it glows in the dark. And if you see this, do an image search, find out the artist, let me know. I'm so sorry, but very cool stuff. I'm looking at things and I haven't talked about this one yet. Too Many Games was there, just handing out stickers if you did something, I forget. Or no, handing out water bottles if you sign up for a raffle to get tickets to it. So I also got a sticker of the first Too Many Games I went to. And then official MAGFest merch besides what I'm wearing here. I got a hat that doesn't really fit. I might just donate to the shrine next year. It's like very small. And then I got one of their official pins because these always sell out. I couldn't pass up on that though. It's very cool. Fangamer does good stuff. And then this was by last bit of stuff from the artist alley here. Stupid Dead Skull Head. They had a bunch of trading cards of different characters, and I saw, I mean, there was a lot of Resident Evil fan art, but I really like this. And they had also Ashley and Ada, but did a lot of different characters through like trading card things. A lot of the Shoujo figures of like Freddy and Jason Voorhees, and I forget who else. They even had Elvira. I asked if they had like sets of the cards, and they were only selling them individually. Otherwise, I would have got like a deck or whatever, but... Oh, and then this last CD I got, didn't see this. I thought it was a person. It's a group, I guess, Virtua 94, but a lot of tracks of just Sega related stuff. Door into Summer, you know, no one's played Sonic Chaotix, but everybody's heard Door into Summer. Everybody's heard the soundtrack to Knuckles Chaotix more than the amount of people that have played it. But a lot of cool different tracks on there. Oh, and then we just messed up the disc by letting it fall out. So yeah, and somehow didn't buy any retro games. I'll tell you how I didn't buy any retro games. They're expensive and nobody's hiding that anymore. It sucks. I did take pictures of a lot of like, there was a whole booth of just import games, which was neat. And then, but even those are overpriced now. Even those are getting up there. Someone had Sweet Home, which is like the precursor essentially to Resident Evil, inspiration for it. I thought if I didn't know that there was a fan translation of that released physically, I might have got it. There was just so much, or there were not so much. There was just so many crazy prices that we saw, and somehow those booths were cleared out by the last day. So Godspeed to people with wallets, I guess. But no, I felt good that I didn't buy any retro games. Have in the past always hit up one booth to get Dreamcast indie stuff, but I actually had every Dreamcast indie game they had there. Video Games New York, but they always have a booth there. That's all the art I got though. But overall, MAGFest just always good, always so much fun. Just the fact that it's 24 hours, that might overwhelm people, but it's really more chill, and you can kind of pace yourself better. I didn't see as many bands this year. I kind of wish I did. Kind of wish I spent more time in the chiptune spot, but that, you know, maybe next time. A lot of running around, even though I didn't have that much on my schedule, and it was still just so good to just see people, hang out with people that I don't get to see a lot. Yeah, the tournaments were good. I kind of wish I played more in the arcade. Killer Queen, got to go back for that. There were more Killer Queen machines than I've ever seen, probably because unfortunately some arcades have folded and they got to go somewhere. But yeah, guys, I think that'll do it for this video. MAGFest 2025, insane. So happy I got to go 4 days. Thank you again to the host, whose house I crashed at. Thank you for everyone hanging out. If any of your art's tagged improperly and you see this, please tag yourself, yell at me, tell me, so that people can find you accordingly. I don't know how to end this. I didn't think about that, so I'll just ask if everyone can feel the sunshine and if it brightens up your day. I don't know. Anyway, guys, wanted to throw a positive video on the internet. Holy crap, this went on longer than I wanted to. Who cares? See you on the next one. Stay strong out there.